Hey everyone, this is Q&A with Coach MJ number 17. Thanks so much for watching. Send in your questions. 17 means we've been doing this for almost 6 months. It's so exciting. Hope you've learned a lot. Keep asking your questions because I'm here to help you be a better athlete. So the first question is Andy, who asks, when I'm training for a 70.3 or 140.6, is it detrimental for you to do your long weekend rides with a slower rider that's maybe 2 miles an hour slower, he says, or can you make up with it with shorter dash speed workouts during the week? And the answer is, unfortunately, Andy, you can't. A little bit you can, but a couple things. What you do in those long rides is what you should expect you're going to do in the race. So if you're riding slower during training, you're going to expect to ride slower during the race. But it really depends. Like, so what's important to you? So if you really value that time with that person or group that you are training with, stick with it. If you really want to go out and see what you personally can do, then you really have to amp it up and go at your ability. And I'm not saying you always have to do it. What I would say is that those longer rides need to be at your level, and maybe some of the shorter rides during the week you can do at their level. But yes, definitely shorter strength kind of speed workouts during the week will help. And even if on those long rides you want to ride with someone a little bit slower, you can, but not every week, maybe every fourth or fifth week. And that should still keep you at the level that you can do. So great question, Andy. Thanks for asking. And the next one is Ian. And he says, how much of a difference does it make having a tri-bike versus a road bike? And the answer is, Ian, it really depends on the race. So if you are going to do a flat race, a tri-bike is going to be more beneficial. If you're going to do a hilly race or a road bike, you can make a case for a road bike. A lot of people will do a road bike in Ironman, Wisconsin, because it is very hilly. But the general rule of thumb is if you're going to ride 51% or more of the time in the aero position, then you go with a tri-bike. Now, if you don't have money for both, you only have one, you can get a road bike, you can get clip-on aero bars. It's not the most ideal situation, but it is closer, and it will give you some advantage until you can get up enough money to save up for that tri-bike. So thanks for asking. And the last question is Julia, who asks, hey MJ, what are your coaching qualifications and what should one look for in a coach? So wow, Julia, the answer is I have been doing triathlon since 2003. So what is that? 12 years, 13 years now. I've taken the last couple of years off, but when I started, I was very, very much middle of the pack, if not lower down. And I think, I learned how to coach myself. I learned how to get the best out of myself, and that's the difference that I think I have. I have a lot of certifications. Do I think certifications are the greatest thing in the world? No, they're definitely helpful, and I think I would look for a coach with certification, right? But I also would look for a coach with experience. It's different for a coach who came in and right off the bat was at the top of the game, was elite, because most of us can't relate to that. We're not, I'm a good swimmer, but that's really all I had coming in. I had to work really, really hard to get good at the rest of the stuff, and that's something that I can teach my clients. A lot of coaches come in and they're already good, and they don't remember what it's like to fight their way to the top or fight to get the best out of themselves. They've always had that. So that's one thing. And the other thing about certification, I remember going through my USAT class in 2008, and I sat next to a woman, and she was a cyclist, and she had never done a triathlon. We walked out of that class. We both had the same certification, and I don't even know if she knew how to swim. I wouldn't want her as a triathlon coach. So you really need to be careful about that. And the other thing is, go for a coach that's a full-time coach. Okay, there are lots of coaches who do this as a side gig, and you're not their priority, to be honest with you. You're not. So go with somebody who has the experience, who has the passion, but someone that you also connect with. So there are a lot of coaches, and it doesn't mean they're good or bad just if you don't connect with them. It just means you don't. I mean, we're not friends with everybody, right? So ask questions, interview your coaches, go with someone that you have, that your gut feel, that you really know that they understand where you're coming from. They get the way you want to train. And the biggest thing is communication. So if you don't communicate with your coach and you don't let them know your expectations, it won't work. And the coach needs to let you know their expectations of you too. It works both ways. So that's a great question. I think everybody should do their due diligence and talk to several coaches if they're going to get a coach and make a decision. And if it doesn't work, then you move on to the next one. There are plenty of us out there, but ultimately, a good coach is going to understand where you're coming from, is going to listen to you, is going to communicate with you, and will just have your best interest in mind to get you to the level that you want to be at. So thank you so much for asking, and this has been great. Hopefully you guys are having a great week, and we'll see you again soon.